That is toe. That is toe right there.
That's great toe. Whoever came up with
You're
that
fucking
idea
Guy Shine now.
needs to be made Guy Shan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to Water and Shade. We just got done a few days ago watching The Wheel of Time in our Discord server live in a watch party, and it was so fun. But we didn't have a whole lot of time to recollect, process, think. And so now we're gonna talk about it, and we will be rating this episode in terms of G, which is good job, guys, versus To, which is you have attained dishonor. You will now be killed. So, let's talk about some parts of this episode that had G. Tell me, what single snippet, episode, chunk, globule did you find the most reinforcing? I.e., which part had the most G?
Oh, this is incredibly difficult to pick. Incredibly difficult to pick. Because there's so much great stuff. But. I think I'm just gonna go with Logain.
Logain
Alvaro
so
Morta as Logain was fantastic.
He
was like, you don't have
Jesus.
to fight me. You can follow me. And I'm like, honey, I will
I'll follow
follow
you. I don't even care who you are. I'll follow you even if you can't channel. I'll follow you. Okay, yeah. He is Spanish Jesus, and I will follow him till the end of days, and I'm really sorry about what happened, bud.
Spanish Jesus.
He's so good. Spanish Jesus. Gildon and Jesus. Oh, he was good, and he was so convincing. I was like, he's not a bad guy. Don't be mean to him. He's a baby. He's a precious baby. Be nice to him.
Oh. Yeah,
So good.
I have such a dislike for the Aes Sedai at the moment because of
Yeah, it's like, God, why would you do that to this poor man? And then the end, like, see, he did that so well. Like, you know, we're gonna assume you've seen through episode 4 at this point, but seeing him gentled, like, that hurt. That hurt, because you're like, oh no. You know, you get a little exposition when Tom's explaining what it's like when somebody gentles someone, but you don't see it. You see it in him. He did such a good job. He was like, it is fully coming out of my soul, and I am so sad. I am just broken. And I was like, oh no. There were a lot of emotions.
They should be following me, not fighting me.
I love it. I love it. He's so good. I'm so excited for him. I'm gonna leave out the obvious, the very end of Nynaeve being Nynaeve.
We all know. I mean,
we know that is the pinnacle of this series so far. That 5 minutes after she said, that Maureen said, your strength, your tremendous strength is just a pinprick next to the strength of the Dragon Reborn. And then Nynaeve just like, and healing everyone in the room. And the fact that she was so pissed and so full of the power that she was able to just like let it loose, and she didn't touch Logain. She healed everyone.
She could have gone for Logain.
She could have killed Logain. She could have killed him. She could have gentled him, but she healed everyone. And I love that she went to land first.
She's a fixer.
She is a fixer. She is the Aja that she will choose. So, but that wasn't, I mean, that goes without saying. We know. But I had so many moments of like, oh, this is perfect. This is so good. This is so amazingly good. And so if you're not familiar with Weaves of the Wheel, it is a Wheel of Time role-playing community, and it's set in the 4th Age, but there is a warder yard. And, you know, we play as Aes Sedai, warders, Ashaman, all that stuff. And there is such a camaraderie in our warder yard. And I saw that so much in these warders. And they're talking to their Aes Sedai. And when I play in Weaves of the Wheel, my warder and I aren't doing anything, any hanky-panky. It is truly just an emotional, loving bond. And they portrayed it so well. It was so beautiful. You know, the Greens, they're fucking their warders. We know this. But you had my warder and my warder's boyfriend, and then he's my warder too. And we're all gonna just go have a big old cuddle puddle. And Alana was everything. I loved the Greens. I loved the warders. I loved that Nynaeve found her place. And she grew to, like, appreciate Lan and the other warders because she was like, oh, you're not your Aes Sedai. You guys are really cool, and you think it's cool to be around Aes Sedai. Maybe they're not so bad. There was just so many, though. Like, Leandrin was fucking sickening. She was so good.
Leandrin calling Lan cold chicken.
I know, and Nynaeve immediately, when she was like, that woman's a fucking snake. I'm gonna tweet a snake emoji at that bitch. Like, that was so good. She knew. And I am 100% convinced, and Rafe Judkins, I see you. I am 100% convinced that Elida is going to be replaced by Leandrin, because I can see nobody else except Leandrin as Elida. It's gonna be so good. So, if I'm right, I've told this to everybody. If I'm right, you have to subscribe to my Patreon.
Thank you. Yeah, I love her. I
love her.
I need to. I know. Like, I need to give G to Leandrin because I like this Leandrin more than I like the book version.
Yeah,
like
which is why I think she's gonna have more going on.
The book version of Leandrin is like, she's bratty and pouty, and you know, she's beautiful and she's stunning and she's vindictive, and I don't know.
But she's gone in 2 books. Like, she doesn't last.
She doesn't stay around that much, and she wouldn't stay around that much because there's not a massive amount of depth to her character.
No, but
I already feel like I have way more depth with this TV version than I do like how she like mispronounced Nynaeve's name, and how she like it's like, I can't place your accent, like knowing full well that she's not heard shit yet. But,
she's like, I've just seen it written.
Just that very like clever way of like opening the conversation so that she can
I like your braid. I'm a mean girl. You wanna come join us?
Yeah.
The red tent is always open to women.
Yeah.
Do you think the Reds are lesbians, or do you think they're asexual?
Probably a bit of both.
Probably. I have a hard time thinking.
There's probably Reds that are straight as well, but just kind of can't tolerate men for very long. That's pretty much how I feel. Like, I'm like you know, I like having you around for like 5 minutes, and then can you please just go away?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, that's probably just the very red Aja way. Aja.
Yeah.
Aja. Like, they say Aja.
Yeah, they say Aja. Alana said it like Aja. Like, she said it like Yiddish. She's like, Aja. I'm like, okay.
Leandrin said it like Aja as well.
Aja.
And I was just like, Aja.
I always say Aja, though. I have it like a soft J. Aja.
Pronunciations change, sis. And I think they're changing for the TV show. I think we're going to have different pronunciations of things to actually represent the fact that people have different accents and come from different places, and people will say things
like Gildan.
Don't stop.
So let's talk about some chunks that have earned toe. What do you think?
Do you know, there's not a lot in this episode that has toe.
No.
And really, if I'm being honest, I'm splitting hairs. It's the Tinkers. Again, which I know was my one from last episode, but it is again, there's something that just kind of slows down the story and it's just kind of dragging it out that I don't need that much. I want more joy in the Tinkers. I want more life in the Tinkers, and I'm not quite seeing that, and I'm not connecting to it, and I don't know why that is, but I'm not there.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I had a problem with the Tinkers too, and I think for a different reason. Like I really did feel the joy, like they're playing and they're, you know, they're just dancing and they're doing their thing, but it did feel slow. And I think I didn't like that Isla basically was just like recapping her daughter's death, which isn't in the book. But I didn't, like, I connected with it. I felt it. I was like, oh, wow, that's really great. But I feel like Isla as a person would just be more interested in the Way of the Leaf for the sake of the Way of the Leaf rather than, like, the revenge. Like, the best revenge is no revenge. Or, like, the best revenge is no violence. I didn't like that. It was like I liked the way that it was portrayed. I liked the way that they made it work. But I don't think it was necessary. It was like Layla Ibarra. It was like, yes, I really like the way that this is going. This is really cool. But I think the whole thing is like all these little bits and pieces that I don't feel are really necessary are just ways of kind of scaffolding Perrin's character arc because his like journey is so internal. And I think they needed it. But I think in the grand scheme, it wasn't really necessary, but I can see how it was necessary for Perrin's arc, that he was like, oh, wow, I really don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that person who's violent. And I just don't think it was necessary for Isla to, like, go into that, but I see in the grand scheme of the show how it was necessary. I don't see how in the grand scheme of, like, the big story that it was necessary.
I disagree. I disagree. I actually think that's been one of the best bits of the Tinkers because actually I connected to that. And that was something that was lacking with the Tinkers for me, is that I wasn't connecting. Like, I always think of the Way of the Leaf as like, oh my god, you're a moron. Just, like, pick up a sword. Bastard.
Yeah.
But, like, I understood that. I understood that and I felt the emotion and I actually felt teary. I was just like, okay, I'm fine. I'm not crying. I thought it was really necessary. I really think it was really necessary.
And they left the part out from the Tinkers that I really took away from, which was that when the axe cuts down a tree, the axe is harmed. Like, they cut that out, and I feel like that would have been, even just as a passing, like, when you cut down a tree, like, when you use, even if you're using it as a tool, like, even if you're using an axe as a tool, it's still damaging the axe, and so any violence that you perpetrate injures you. And I really wish they would have put that in. Yeah. And I think there was so much space to put it in that they didn't.
There is still room for it, so they could still do it. I hope they do.
I'm hoping so,
because that is like even the axe gets blunted by that action.
Yeah, and that was what resonated for me in the books, and I feel like I really still need to see that to understand the Way of the Leaf and like why. Just like mindless killing when you're upset, because you saw that in the first episode with Perrin, that he was just going to town on that fucking Trolloc.
Yeah.
And then he looks up and see his wife like, ah! And then he's like, and he like, I need to see that connect, that my rage and my rages against the machine, my rages are detrimental to my being as a person, and I'm starting to see it, but I really need that to be very forefront when I watch it.
Yeah.
And so I think Isla's story took away from that, but I see how it can further Perrin's development as his character, because we don't get to see his, oh, well, I'm remembering all these times when I was too clumsy and too big and too dangerous just because I'm a big dude. You don't see that, so you need it spelled out for you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is really splitting hairs because this episode was so good.
It really is.
It was phenomenal. I forgot the other toe. I fucking have dogs. They don't fucking have dogs. God damn it.
They don't. They have cats.
They don't have dogs.
They have cats. How do
what
you
is
have
this?
a fucking dog?
You could have very easily said it was a cat.
You can't
It was
hide
a cat.
dog.
What kind of dog?
How are you
What
hiding
kind of dog
a
would look with an eye? Huh?
How are you hiding a dog? How is a novice gonna hide a fucking dog?
Yeah,
Dogs
a
are
cat
loud.
is easy to hide. You just leave it in your room. You let it do its thing. And a dog around a bunch of Aes Sedai would be barking all the goddamn time. Like, my dogs are barking all the time, and I don't even
hear
channel
them.
that much.
I can hear them. Like, they are just... You can't hide a dog.
Yeah, you can't hide a dog.
You remember
Cats don't bark, and they shit in a box.
You know in episode 3 where Dana was like, you can't outrun a fade. You can't hide a dog.
Yeah.
It's the same.
It's canon. That is like literal canon, guys.
I think we're both in agreement that this episode just has great G. Like,
It was so good.
It was so good. This episode like definitely hit like a 9 for me.
Yeah.
It was just brilliant in so many ways. There's a couple of like little things that I just pick up, but it's splitting hairs, you know. At the end of the day, I'm entertained, I enjoyed myself, it was fun. Out of all warders that we met in this episode, which one would you bond? And you can only bond one.
Oh,
And it can't be
but I'm a
Lan.
green. But I'm a green.
It can't be Lan.
I really liked Maxim, but he's a couple. He's a throuple. And I would have to bond him and Alana and the other guy, so... They're a throuple. It counts as
gonna
one.
find a loophole here.
It is a loophole. They are one soul. They are one person now. So I'm bonding all three. Alana, I would just take Alana though. I would just be her warder.
Yeah, she's
so perfect. Priyanka Bose,
so pretty and so.
you are so good.
Her voice.
She's 100% gone, kids.
She is also 100% gone. The Black Tower has fallen. There's no more. The Aes Sedai
Thanks, mushroom time.
walk the grounds.
What were we doing?
Ending the episode, bitch.
Oh, okay. So, if you like this nonsense, go find our shit. And if you didn't, then just turn it off and go find something else. It's not that hard, Brenda. So, until next time, may you always find water and shade. I'm gonna take a nap because I'm real drunk. I just drank a whole bottle of wine. Oh wait, there's a little bit left in my glass. That's gross.
Mine's gone.
You just legit dumped it.